We were 1 out away from profit yesterday. It hurts. Still hurts this morning when I woke up. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Tuesday, and I'm Jason Mattis, of course, giving you guys free sports picks every single day. I hope your morning's off to a good start, and thanks for kicking off your morning here with winning bets as we talk some sports and give you some winning bets along the way. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday, and then we'll get into the action on today's slate of games. Yesterday, we started off with a win. I gave you guys only one bet in that Barcelona versus Cadiz game, and it was a cash. Under 9.5 corners, won that one on the hook as it ended with 9 corners. Started off kind of sweat-free, right? There were only 3 corners at halftime. After 69 minutes, there was only 4 corners. So then you got 20 minutes, you can afford 5 corners, and they just started coming hot and heavy. There was 7 extra minutes of added time that we had to sweat through. A lot of sweating in that last 10, 15 minutes of that game, but we sweated our way right to profit, so love that right there. How did baseball go? Well, we started off losing the early game there. Red Sox F5 team total, and also Dylan Bundy under 3.5 Ks. Dylan Bundy has obviously found something in the offseason or whatever is going on. He's obviously started off his campaign this season with 2 nice starts, so he's definitely not an automatic fade. Have to go ahead and back off him. But in that same game, we did hit a plus 120 cash of Xander Bogaerts over 1.5 total bases, so that certainly softened the damage a little bit there in that morning game. Got a cash at night with Eric Lauer under 5.5 Ks, another bet that we won on the hook as he ended the game with 5 Ks, so good cash right there. We suffered a loss over 7.5 runs in Reds versus Padres. Boy, got 3 runs in the first inning. Thought that the game was going to play out just the way I kind of talked about there on payoff pitch, but after that first inning, boy, the runs just absolutely dried up, and the game finished, I think it was 4-1 or maybe 5-1, so he fell a couple runs short, but the heartbreaker of the night had to have been that Athletics F5 run line. Had to win the game after 5. They were up 1-0 going into the top of the 5th inning, and Montas hadn't even given up a hit. Yeah, this is where the heartbreak happens. Get a strikeout, walk a guy, get an out, and then give up a double. His only hit. He gave up a double and only hit in those first 5 innings. Unfortunately, it was a big one. It was a double, and unfortunately for us, he had walked a batter just before that, putting a guy on first base, so he was able to score on that double. So just brutal. And then the cup check at the end, in case that didn't hurt enough, what do the Athletics do in the 6th inning? Oh, they put up a 4 spot. Just heartbreaker. Absolutely heartbreaker that maybe the A's got their runs a little bit late, although they had enough being up 1-0. And then to lose that bet and only giving up 1 hit, like, are you kidding me? Only give up 1 hit. You give up 1 hit, you expect to win the bets. That was absolutely brutal right there. Heartbreaker, and that's what still has me in pain so far this morning. The Dogs yesterday, they had a little bit of bark going 3-5, so we ended up losing a little bit of money on those Dogs. So yeah, down a little bit on the day, down a little over 2 units, but it was all because of the Athletics. If they go ahead and win that game, then we're profitable, or not win that game, but win that game through the first 5 innings, then we're profitable today. So brutal, absolutely brutal right there to go ahead and drop that game. As for yesterday's free giveaway bet, we put it on Dylan Bundy under 3.5 Ks. Boy, the stats just suggested he obviously could have stayed under 3.5, but he did not do that, getting 5 or 6. So we'll look to go ahead and, get a winner today. We're on attempt number 7. I do have a bet to go ahead and give you guys on today's show. That'll be the free giveaway bet as well. Speaking of those MLB Dogs, these are the MLB Dogs that I'll be going ahead and backing today. Of noteworthy, you can see that we've got one not at plus money. The Cubs are at minus 103. And then you can see on the bottom 3, well, we don't have any lines up at all for Nationals versus D-backs, whether it's game 1 or game 2. And then because the Athletics haven't named a starter for today's game, we also don't have a line for that. So those are the Dogs I'll be backing. And of course, I'll tweet out the Nationals D-backs game, the Athletics Orioles game, whenever I go ahead and buy those games. With that being said, let's just go right to today's action. And as you guys see on today's thumbnail, it's a big game today in the Premier League. You've got Liverpool going on against Manchester United. I've got 2 bets in this game. I'm going to go ahead and do Liverpool team total under 6.5 corners at plus 132 over at FanDuel. And then I also like their goal total of going over 2.5 goals at plus 148 over at BetRivers. So again, it's Liverpool team total under 6.5 corners at plus 132. Liverpool team total over 2.5 goals at plus 148 over at BetRivers. Let's talk about this goal streak here for a second. What has Liverpool been doing? Boy, they've been really impressive. They got 3 past Manchester City. They got 3 past Benfica 2 times recently. Then they did not get it, but they were on the hook. They got 2 versus City, obviously in the Premier League game. They got 2 by Watford. They got 2 past Arsenal and 2 past Brighton. So you can see in the recent form here for Liverpool, they're either cashing this bet or losing on the hook. And even when you lose on the hook, you're sitting there with a plus 148 ticket. and you just need one more goal, and you know Liverpool's going to attack. So don't mind holding on to a plus 148 when Liverpool's been right there, or they've been cashing against City, cashing against Benfica. Absolutely love that right there. Recent head-to-heads, you would have cashed in both of those if they got 4 goals and 5 goals past Manchester United. If we go ahead and look at the corner side of these two bets, if we look at what they did against Manchester City, they got 3 corners. They got 8 corners versus Benfica. They got 1 against Manchester City there in the Premier League. They got 6 by Benfica. They got 9 versus Watford, 6 versus Arsenal, and 5 versus Brighton. So you can see there's a lot of cashes in there. The only teams they were unable to cash against was Watford. That was at Anfield, where Watford just gave them possession. They had a ton of possession in that game. Obviously, Manchester United won't be conceding possession like Watford did, or when Manchester United gets the ball, they'll be able to control longer spells of possession than what Watford did. And then they got 8 past Benfica. All right, well, they absolutely dominated Benfica. So what about recent head-to-heads against Manchester United in terms of corners? The last 3, they got 3 corners, 4 corners, and 5 corners. So obviously, much like the goals would have cashed in the last 2 head-to-heads, well, the corners would have cashed in the last 3 head-to-heads. And again, the recent head-to-heads is Liverpool winning 5-0 in the reverse fixture, and Liverpool winning 4-2. It was another one there in 2021. Absolutely love these 2 bets. Liverpool is going to do the job. They're absolutely going to, I think, demolish Manchester United. I mean, look, you're beating City, you're beating Benfica, you're doing well against Arsenal, Brighton, teams that have good defenses. I can't see United putting up much of a fight, and I know you can sit there and say, well, this is a rivalry game. Manchester United will turn up. Well, they didn't turn up in the reverse leg at home at Old Trafford when they lost 5-0. Or they didn't turn up last spring when they lost 4-2 against Liverpool. So you can turn up. Like Manchester United can turn up. Big rivalry game. Well, you know who else is going to turn up? Liverpool's also going to turn up for a big rivalry game. And when both teams are going to turn up, Liverpool is by far the better team, and it's not even close who the better team is in these 2 teams. So, yeah, give me the Liverpool team. They'll win this game. Obviously, money line's minus 250, so you'd have to parlay it with a bunch of stuff to go ahead and get reasonable odds. So, if you're probably sitting there, you're thinking Liverpool's going to win the game, you're probably thinking they're going to get 2, 3 plus goals. So, at plus 148, love that one. And then the corners, they've just been doing a good job staying under 6.5 corners in a lot of their recent fixtures. So love that one as well at plus money. So I know I'm sitting there in the Manchester United jersey, fully expecting Liverpool to do the job, get us a win, get us cashes, and really bury Manchester United. And I don't really care. I don't even want them to be in European football next year. Just want them to kind of focus on the Premier League like Chelsea did a couple years ago, like Liverpool did a couple years ago. Just focus on the league. They're in absolutely shambles right now. They need to just focus literally on the league and kind of put everything else to the side and kind of turn their rebuild around that's now been going on for almost 10 years now, this rebuild. So hopefully we can go ahead and get 2 cashes in this game, and not only get 2 cashes, but get 2 plus money cashes. And one of these bets is the free giveaway bet. Again, we're on attempt number 7. I've gone ahead and put that $50 bet on the corners. So under 6.5 corners is the free giveaway bet in this game. And then one more other bet just to go ahead and run past you guys. Its game's not until Wednesday, so we'll go ahead and talk about it. But I like Manchester City to win to nil at minus 135. So Man City to win to nil at minus 135. And again, that game's on Thursday, so we'll go ahead and talk about that one on tomorrow's show. As for what's going on later today, well, we got the payoff pitch at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Well, obviously, I'll give you guys all my baseball bets for today's slate of games. And then also it's Dinger Tuesday on FanDuel, so look for me a little bit later on Twitter to go ahead and tweet out my Dinger Tuesday plays. Chicks love the long ball. Let's see if we can't get some long balls and put some cash in our pocket. All right, that's how we're going to do it again today. Again, let's have a good Liverpool versus Man United bet, cash these 2 bets, and then also cash our baseball bets tonight. I'll see you guys on the payoff pitch. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today, and check out my other great videos in these corners.